Hi, welcome to Talk Back Live, a show that gets you involved in live conversation and sports with Brian Camp on Sports Update, bringing you the latest developments in today's world of sports. And now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant night to each and every one of you in your different time zones around the world and across the country. Here we are once again. It's another Thursday. It's 8 p.m. on the East Coast, 5 p.m. on the West Coast. It's Friday morning, 1 a.m. in London, 3 a.m. in Israel, and it's 10 a.m. in Tokyo. Hi, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Talk Back Live. We're here for another Thursday, and we're coming to you live from New York City. That's where we originate, and we get together each week at this time with a little conversation, information, and a lot of fun together, and all of you together will help this show go along, and you can do that. You can get on the air with us. With your fonts, with your typewriter, right? Well, they don't have typewriters anymore, but your computer keyboard, right? You can talk to us that way. That's why we call it Talk Back Live. And all you have to do is let your fingers do the walking on the keyboard. It's either on the keyboard of your telephone, your computer, or your tablet, or any other device that you may use to get in contact with us. All you have to do is just use those keyboard fingers, type them in, and say anything that you want to say. I will see you right there on the big screen, and I will entertain all of your thoughts and ideas and opinions, because that's what it's all about. It's all about free exchange of opinions and ideas, and that's what we have right here for you. We're so glad that you can join us for this Thursday. We're going to be here. We got a lot to talk about today. And those of you who are joining us for the first time, I already explained what the show is all about, and you can get involved in the same way, and that's why we want you to do that. And don't think that because you're new here, that you're any less than anyone else that's been here for a while. The more the merrier. And if you're here for the very first time, you ought to know that we're coming to you live from 3 different places. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. So you can choose any one of those 3 and you can't go wrong. It's nothing wrong with that, right? And of course, if you're joining us on Facebook, please take the time, all of you who are watching us on Facebook, to tag this show to your friends. Now, I know you have a lot of friends on Facebook, and you may not be able to use all of them, get them all in. There's so many. I know you got a lot of friends. You're very popular, but maybe a couple of friends, and each week, maybe you just add a few more on as they go along, right? Just tag them. They'll see that information. They'll know it's from you. They'll trust you. And all they'll have to do is just click on to that information, and it brings them directly to us. They'll see you, they'll see me, and everybody else is involved here. And they can join in a conversation as well. Now, if there's anything in particular that you would like to talk about in the news, out of the news, or maybe just for fun, just kind of fun stuff that you want to talk about, please let us know. Type it in there, and we'll try to entertain all of that for you, because as I said, it's Talk Back Live, and we talk together. And if you're so inclined not to, and you just want to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show, that's okay too. But you know something? I love addressing you guys personally. I love to do that. I don't get a chance to see you guys in person, but except for right here. So I would like to address you anyway, just to say hello. Even if you just want to say hello and that's it, that's okay too. So we're going to get the show on the road, ladies and gentlemen. And along on the show, we do our regular routine. For instance, we've got sports coming up. Now, in this particular half hour, just minutes from now, Brian Camp will be along. We're going to link up with him from New York to Charlotte, North Carolina. That's where he is. And he's going to give us the latest developments in today's world of sports. That's the name of his show, called Sports Update. And he'll have all that sports news coming up. We'll, latch on to that in just a few. That's coming up not too long in the show. So stay by for that. And if you have any questions, sports related, when he comes in, you can talk to him just as well. We'll get a chance to see him. If you're watching us on Facebook or on YouTube, you'll get a chance to see him on split screen. I guess they call it split screen. You'll see him there, but we don't have the luxury on Instagram. Those of you who are watching us on Instagram, we don't have that luxury, but you'll get a chance to hear him. You'll hear him, and you can still communicate. If you have any questions, just type it in. And of course, that information will be relayed to him and he'll answer all of your questions. So that's all coming up. Also, later on in the program, we have what they call on this day in history. Now, whatever happened on this day in history, January 11th, that's where we are on this day in history, January 11th, something happened. We'll tell you more about that later. That's coming up in the program. And before the show is all over, we have what I like to do each week. We have all of the stuff that we like to put together for your viewing pleasure, for watching all of the movies, right? You watch those movies, right? Turner classic movies that come along. And each week I have my picks of the week for all of you to enjoy. And just in case you're one of those people who enjoy the weekend in your own little way, but maybe want to take a little time out to catch up on some movies that you haven't seen in a long time, well, I'm just going to add the few movies that I have with me for you. And those are my picks of the week for your weekend. So that's coming along on this day in history, the sports coming up too, and of course, those movies. I have more coming up. Remember that all of the view and the opinions expressed on this show, Talkback Live, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinion of the people of Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, or any other social media outlet or broadcast facility. So with that in mind, we want to welcome you all. I see some people are coming in, and if you would like to say hi, of course, please do not hesitate. We're here on live for you. And first off, I want to say hello to Barbara out there. Barbara, how are you? Barbara coming out of Las Vegas, Nevada. She's watching us on Facebook. And we're going to be talking to a lot of you guys who are coming on, if you want to do that. So if you want to say hi like Barbara did, she's coming out of Las Vegas. Remember, we're all around the world. Now, it's a proven fact, because if Barbara could watch us from Las Vegas and we're here in New York, just imagine if you're in an area where you have good Wi-Fi and a great hotspot, you can do it too. And even if you're out of the country, all around the world, we're global, all around the world. That's where we are, and you can watch us. So therefore, tell your friends about it. Keep telling your friends about it. And those of you who are watching us on Facebook right now, I already asked you to tag your friend. But for those of you who are watching us on YouTube, I always ask you to also make it a point to tag on and subscribe to my YouTube channel. All right, that's very important. You know why? Because the more the merrier. The more tags that we get, or likes that we get, or subscriptions that we get, it helps us out a lot. And you can do that right now. All you have to do is just take your little mouse, drag it on where it says subscribe, click it on right there, and that's all it takes. You don't have to have any money. We don't ask for any money. It's all free. You know, that's a very important word, right? Free. It's all free. And you can do that right now as we speak. And it just takes that second. And the reason why we always ask you to do that is because we would like you to get the information, because whenever we come on live, you get a pop-up. It'll pop right up, that instant notification. It'll pop right up, and you'll get a chance to know that we'll come on the air live, even if we so much as, post a video or something. That's the great purpose of it. And of course, you'll get a chance to click on and see that we're live, and wherever you are and whatever you're doing. And if you happen to forget about the show, that's the purpose of that instant notification, to remind you that we're on, or to remind you that there's a new video that we just posted for you. So there you go. It's all happening right here. And thank you so much. Barbara, you mentioned Eileen. I haven't seen Eileen in a long time. Is she here? Because I don't see her. You mentioned Eileen. Is she here? That would be great if she was. All my friends in Las Vegas, I'd love to see. I haven't been there in a long time, and I'm due to go back there. How long has this been? It has to a good 9 or 10 years, I think. It may not seem that long, but it's been that long, and I'm pretty sure. I have to go back. The reason why I have to go back, because it changes so much each time you leave there and you go back. There's a lot of changes there, and I'm pretty sure all the spectaculars are there, and they added more things on. So I got to go back and check it out. No, she's not. Oh, she's in Delaware. Okay, she's in Delaware. I know that's where she lives in Delaware. I thought maybe at one time she lived in Philadelphia. I thought she was living in the Philadelphia area at one time, unless she moved. Um, oh, oh, she's going to tag her, right? She's tagging Eileen. Okay. All right. Brian just said Brian is in the room right now. I'm gonna get on along with him. Yeah, Barbara knows, Barbara counts them, right? She said 9 years. It's been 9 years since I've been there. So I gotta get back there. I gotta get back to Vegas and see what's going on. I'm pretty sure it's still the fun area where I had so much fun. Every time I go there, I have a lot of fun. And so I want to go back and adapt to the changes, because I know there are a lot of changes over there. So I have to adapt to those things. Maybe it's a possibility that whenever I go back, I may not even recognize anything. And I got to go back to the Blue Martini. Yeah, the Blue Martini is still there. she's bringing me back to all of these great places. The Blue Martini. And she said they are Philly fans. She's talking about Eileen and John, the married couple. They're Philly fans. So I guess that's the Philadelphia Phillies, right? Baseball is coming back pretty soon. So we're going to talk to Brian about that. When he comes in, he'll give us the sports and he'll talk about the Philadelphia Phillies. I don't know what's happening with them right now, but I do know that coming up we have baseball. Now, when the Super Bowl is over, that's when we can look forward to it. And I'm looking forward to it. And so Barbara says we are building upwards now in Vegas. It's always upwards in Vegas, you know, because if you remember Vegas back in the heyday in the 1960s, there were nothing some of the old classic hotels were there, but they weren't big high rises. They were like bungalows back in those days, you know, and they kept the name. I remember the Sands were there, but they took the Sands down. Correct me if I'm wrong, Barbara. There was a Sahara hotel. They tore it down, but I was told they put the Sahara back. Is that true? I don't know. I don't know. I got to go back and check it out. There's not much land left. So pretty soon, hey, maybe pretty soon you have a lot of desert, right? You could build a lot of buildings on that desert. So we'll see. Anyway, thank you so much for being along with us. It's 12 minutes past the hour right now. And of course, as I said, Brian Camp will be along with sports, and he got the latest developments in today's world of sports. Again, if you're around and you have any sports related programs or sports related questions that you may have for Brian when he comes in, you can feel free. We've got a long weekend ahead of us. We do. You know, we just came out of the New Year's holiday, right? And now we've got a long weekend ahead of us. And when we come back to work, it'll be a short week. Well, you guys got it good. For the reason why we have the long weekend is, and just in case you didn't remember, this upcoming weekend is the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday celebration. So that's coming up all weekend long. So we'll talk more about that later. Maybe something that you may want to add on to that. That would be fine. Of course, we'll be able to talk about that. One of my favorite times of the year too, you know, so that's coming up too. So we got a long weekend. You're getting ready to stretch for that. A lot of you probably forgot about that, right? How can you forget a long weekend? Everyone looks for the weekend period, but when you say a long weekend, you know, you get that extra day. Oh, sure, that's indeed. Okay, you know, actor David Soul, best known for playing for the detective Kenneth Hutchison on the TV series Starsky and Hutch, passed away last Thursday. The Chicago-born actor originally aspired to play baseball. We talk about baseball. He wanted to play with the Chicago White Sox and then changed course to study to be a diplomat to follow his father's footsteps, and said his detour into entertainment was purely accidental. David Soul was 80 years old. And we got the news earlier about the Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin was diagnosed with prostate cancer. Now, he kept that as a hush-hush. He didn't say much about that. He wound up in a hospital, and he was diagnosed in December and developed complications from prostate cancer. So, you know, at one time, we didn't know how serious it was, but the last report that I got, that he's going to make it through. He's going to be okay. So we'll have to check on. I'm going to keep tabs on that. Maybe I'll find out more about it tomorrow as well. And then at that particular point, I can convey all of that information to you when it comes along. So let's keep our fingers crossed for Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin. You know, in case you don't know who he is, he's the Defense Secretary, works for the White House, right? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much again. And it's always a pleasure to have you aboard with us. And those of you who are just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. Now, again, you can do what Barbara and the rest of us are doing. You can come in and just say hello. And even if you don't want to join in conversation, just watch the show. That's it. Okay, speaking of sports, we talk about sports, and well, that's a great segue because we're going to go to sports right now. Brian Camp, we're going to link up with him right now because he's coming out of Charlotte, North Carolina. And where the weather is pretty good, decent weather for the most part. I don't know what he's got right now, but Brian, how are you tonight?
I'm doing great. Just beautiful time. Right now, this time of the year, sports is all over. Back to your friend. And I asked a question. Do you have any Super Bowl tickets that you could send me? I know the Super Bowl is in Vegas. I know it's in Vegas.
Barbara has connections. She has connections. I don't know if she has that kind of connection. I don't know.
Barbara, if you do, just hit me up on Messenger. And if there's a discount, I would love to go out to Vegas and watch the Super Bowl. I'm a big sports fan, but I've never been to a Super Bowl. So keep that in mind. But good evening to you all. To some of you, again, Happy New Year. Yes, go ahead.
No, I was going to say a good thing about sports in Vegas, as opposed to sports anyplace else, you can gamble.
That's right.
Ball and baseball, you can gamble over there. See, if we gamble over here, we're up the creek.
Let me tell you something about Vegas. As soon as you get off the airport, there's slots machines in the airport. So it's plenty to gamble. It's plenty to bet. You know, it's legalized betting is now official everywhere now. But Vegas started it, so I know people personally that go to Vegas just to place a Major League Baseball bet, NFL football bet, and a basketball bet to see who could win their championships in those respective sports, in all sports. So yeah, it's a wonderful town for betting, entertainment. I like to go for the entertainment, to see the shows, and then if I'm in the mood, I'll play a little blackjack. I'll find a casino and just play my blackjack. Yeah. So
Vegas is also a good place to get in trouble. I mean, good trouble.
yeah. Could be it could be hot too in the summertime. You know, in the summertime, I remember going to Vegas, me and my wife. I had to wait until 6 p.m. to leave out my hotel room just to get some cooler air, I guess you could say. But it could be a scorcher. It could be a scorcher. So yeah, Arizona's not too far away. Went to see the Grand Canyon, took a ride there, left my wife at the hotel. She don't like heights, but I was able to go. That was one of my favorite things to do while I was in Vegas, is to go on a tour and take a bus straight to Arizona to see the Grand Canyon. What a sight. I took some wonderful shots. So if you get a chance, go to Vegas. It's not all that, they call it Sin City. It's not all about Sin City, but you can get in trouble, but good trouble also as well too.
It's what you make it. That's what I say. It's what you make it.
Yes. I went for the entertainment. I bought my camera because I knew I was going to get some wonderful shots. And I haven't been there in a while, but been there. Last time I was there was just before the pandemic. Went to a Bruno Mars concert. That's another story for another day. But it is what it is. But let me get to sports. Good evening to everybody. It's 49 degrees out here in the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina. First, congratulations to the Michigan Wolverines. They are now the national champions in college football. They defeated the Washington University Cougars 34-13. So they are the champions. and we wish them the best as they go on. Now, there's some allegations going on, so we don't know what's going to happen, whether that their coach is going to stay or go somewhere else. But congratulations. Also in college football yesterday, Nick Saban, one of college football coaching greats who won 7 national championships and turned Alabama back into a national powerhouse that included 6 of those titles, had announced his retirement after 17 years in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Yes, he won 6 in Alabama and 1 at LSU before he went to Alabama. He has given it up. He's going to enjoy his time. He's 71 years old. I think he says this is it. He wanted, he's not going to do a grand tour. That's not like him. So he's going to call it quits. Also in the NFL, legendary Bill Belichick has announced his retirement. Him and the owner Bob Kraft and legendary the coach also part ways, ending 24 years of relationship. Belichick is considered the greatest NFL coach of all time, winning 6 Super Bowls, and considered, like I said, the greatest of all time. So he had Nick Saban and Bill Belichick. One is the greatest college football coach of all time. The other is Bill Belichick, who is the NFL football greatest coach of all time. We wish them the best. They've done wonderful things for the University of Alabama and the New England Patriots, and we wish them nothing but the best. Congratulations. NFL football. Well, the playoffs are here. The playoffs are here, starting January 13th. That's a Saturday. AFC wildcard playoff games, because we'll have the Cleveland Browns be traveling to the Houston Texans to play their game at 4:30 on NBC. The Miami Dolphins will be going to Kansas City, where it's going to be cold out there. A warm weather team coming into a cold weather team. Miami into Kansas City, and it's going to be brutal to my understanding. This game is going to be on. It's going to be at 8:00 on Peacock. Peacock is owned by NBC, and that game is going to be live streaming. There's some controversial things about that. A lot of people don't like that, but that's what is going to be on Peacock. So if you have it, you could live stream it and watch it live. The next day, January 14th, Sunday, the NFC and the AFC wildcard games, playoff games, will also continue with the Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to cold Buffalo to play against the Buffalo Bills. Now, Pittsburgh and Buffalo, no advantage. These are both cold weather teams who play all year round. That game is going to be at 1:00 on CBS. The second game will be the Green Bay Packers be going to America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, Texas. That game will be at 4:30 on Fox. And the third game would be at 8:00. The LA Rams be traveling to Motown to play against the Detroit Lions. That game is going to be on NBC. And capping off for the weekend, Monday Night Football, the NFC Wild Playoff game will be on Martin Luther King Day birthday. Yes, the Philadelphia Eagles will be traveling to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That game is going to be at 8:15. The game is going to be on ABC/ESPN/ESPN Plus. We got some sporting news to report as well too. Tiger Woods and Nike have decided to split after 27 years. A long relationship. Tiger Woods and the world's largest sportswear company are now departing. Nike bid farewell to him, announced this past Monday, even though a sex scandal drove sponsors such as Gatorade, AT&T away from Tiger Woods, losing him an estimate $20 million. So he lost those endorsements back then. That was back in 2000. It was worth an estimate $85 million. Tiger had signed a 5-year endorsement with Nike, because Nike still kept him. That's one thing about Nike. Nike protect their athletes. A lot of the sponsors, they just did farewell to their athletes who got into scandals, But no, not Nike. Nike stuck with him. It was the richest endorsement in sports history. Tiger was also signed multiple deals over the years, spanning 3 decades, including a 10-year deal in the year 2013 that was worth $200 million. So Tiger Woods is saying bye because what I read, did my research, they're trying to get away from the golf business and want to focus on other things. So they part ways. In the NBA, reinstated Draymond Green, who was suspended for 12 games. Green is expected to need at least approximately a week to get back into game shape. Again, after returning for action, he was already returned to the Warriors practice facility where he was working out, but he is back now. And in Major League Baseball, sad news: New York Spud Harrelson passed away Thursday morning at a hospice house in East Northport, New York, after a long bout with Alzheimer's. He was diagnosed since 2016. Despite his condition, Harrelson was at Citi Field in the year 2019 for the Mets' 50th anniversary of a World Series celebration from their 1969 team. I got a short story about Bud Harrelson. Me and my brothers took me to Shea Stadium as a kid, and he was driving a station wagon after the game. You know how you meet the players when they come out the clubhouse and they go to their parking lot. He almost ran me and my brothers over with that station wagon. I never forget that. And we always talk about that. I talk about it a lot. It was a little white station wagon, and he almost ran us over. He didn't do it on purposely, but we was trying to get autographs. And that was my memory of Bud Harrelson. This thing in sports, January 11th, 1953, J. Edgar Hoover refuses a 6-figure offer to become president of the International Boxing Club. Yeah, that's the former FBI director. 1973, American League adopts the designated hitter rule. 1983, Billy Martin named New York manager for the 3rd time. 1987, the NFC Championship game at Giant Stadium of 76,633. New York wins 7-0. Yeah, that was a lot of people back then, and they still have that big stadium too as well. 1990, the late Bobby Knight becomes the winningest Big Ten coach with 229 wins. And in 2001, the New York Knicks held an opponent under 100 points for an NBA record 29 times. That's hard-nosed defense when you do not allow your opponent to score over 100 points. Birthdays. Here's a wrestling one. Abdul the Butcher, Canadian wrestler, was born in Winslow, Ontario, 1949. Chris Ford, NBA guard and coach, was born in Atlantic City, New Jersey. And in 1957, Darryl Dawkins, who used to break down the backboard with his thundering, they call him Chocolate Thunder, his thundering dunks, NBA center, was born in Orlando, Florida. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports on a busy week of sports.
It's hard to equate J. Edgar Hoover, the former FBI agent. It's hard to equate him with sports. I read that story too, and I said, I didn't know. I didn't know.
Not that either. Yeah.
You learn something new every day. What are the parts that you were reading in your sports about Tiger Woods? You know, it always makes me wonder how these guys like Tiger Woods, a likable guy. Well, I'll go beyond likable. He's a lovable guy, Tiger Woods. Everybody loved him. And you get sports figures like Tiger Woods. Who else? Michael Jordan. These are lovable guys, you know. And not all of them, but a few of them don't stay on the right track, and they lose their endorsements for whatever reason. They get caught up in scandal, you know. And I think about some of the sports figures now who are lovable guys, like let's say, for instance, Patrick Mahomes, lovable guy, and and he's got all of these endorsements, and I hope I have my fingers crossed for him. I want him to stay on the right track. I want him to stay on the right track. he's doing good.
His
So
his brother was just was his the charges was dropped for sexual abuse.
okay,
Um, that was his brother, but Patrick Mahomes' brother, yeah, was involved with that. You may see him doing games of the Kansas City Chiefs and to sit in the press box with Taylor Swift and and his parents as well too. Yeah, likable guys, but it's something about that nightlife.
yeah.
When you get involved with, and you making that money, it's hard to stay away from trouble.
So far he's on the right track. So far, Shaq is still on the right track. You haven't heard anything from him, and because these guys are getting a lot of endorsement, they're making money just by laying back, just maybe pop into work every now and then, record these commercials, and go home.
Yes, absolutely, yes.
Some
It's
of them,
amazing.
really deserve it. But when I read that story about Tiger Woods as well, I was kind of saying, oh, and that's not him, not Tiger.
Yeah, Tiger it is. Yeah, it happened. You get into that limelight, and you making all that money. It takes one bad mistake, and you can see all your millions and billions be gone.
And then the situation with his wife, that must have been an embarrassing situation. She came at him with a golf club.
Yeah. Listen, hey,
I'm not laughing.
you
It's just,
know, I know, but when you play around, you're gonna get burnt.
yeah.
And it could cost you millions and billions, like I just said. So, gotta be smart.
Well, we'll see. You're not going to be back here tomorrow.
I probably will not be back there tomorrow. Tune in again. So yeah, probably. I probably will not be on at all. But I'll send my information to you.
Okay. Okay. Very good. Well, anyway, thanks for the sport. By the way, since Barbara says she used to be his neighbor in Port Beach. Tiger Woods? Tiger Woods' neighbor.
Okay. All right.
Because Barbara used to
Wow.
be in California and she moved from California to Vegas. So
Mhm.
here you go. You never know who you're gonna live next door to. You never know where you're
Exactly. Yeah.
in that area.
That's right. Hmm.
Okay, if I don't catch you back here tomorrow, I guess we'll catch you back here next week and we'll do it all over again.
All right, everybody. Stay safe and enjoy.
Okay, take care of yourself. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's Brian Camp, directly from Charlotte, North Carolina. He comes here each week with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. Always love having him aboard and always love talking sports with him. And if you have any questions and sports related questions, he's not here now, but maybe you have some in the future, or maybe, yeah, you could direct them now and I can relay them to him. Maybe I can get him back on and he can answer all those questions because that's what we do. We do that. If you're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. I'm Frank Allan, and I'm going to be with you for the remainder of the show to the top of the hour. And during his cheating days, Barbara, did you get a chance to see the battle with the golf club? All right. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, I want to say hello to Debbie Kirkland. And Debbie Kirkland is coming out of New Jersey. I want to say hello to her. And those of you, I don't want to miss anyone. I want to see who else is out there before I lose it. Okay, I think I spoke to everyone. I might have missed a couple of people, but if I did, I'm sorry, bounce back. Because, when I'm doing this and I'm interacting with Brian when he comes on with sports and things like that, I notice a lot of people be chatting and I might miss something along the way. So I flashed back and I didn't see I didn't miss anything. Anyway, we're so glad to have you aboard with us. And as I said, we're going to be here till the top of the hour. And if you have anything that you want to talk about, we got people here that love to talk to you as well. We got Vegas in the house. We got New Jersey in the house. We got Charlotte in the house. And I'm coming out of New York. I'm the only guy that's coming out of New York. It's going to be cold. And speaking of cold, oh my God. The caucus is coming up, right? I think is it Tuesday? Well, those guys are going to be freezing. They're going to be freezing out there. It's supposed to be like 20 below zero. And they're going to go out there, because this is the caucus election time will be here before you know it. We just left. We're just in January, but before you know it, the months are going to go by so quick, and we're going to be voting again back in November. Caucus is coming up. People are deciding whether or not they should go out or just stay home or whatever they're supposed to do. But it's going to be freezing out there, and I wouldn't want to be there. I really wouldn't want to be there. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time. I would say it's that time. And I want to flash back in time on this day in history. 1927, Louis B. Mayer, head of the film studio MGM, announces creation of Academy of Motion Pictures and Arts Sciences. On this day in history, 1935, Amelia Earhart flies from Honolulu to Oakland, California, nonstop. On this day in history, 1953, FBI director, we already heard this one already, J. Edgar Hoover. Of course, he declined a six-figure offer to become president of the International Boxing Club. We already heard that one already, so I don't know. I should leave all the sports to Brian. I don't know who put that in there. My producers puts everything in there. Anyway, 1963, the Beatles released their single, Please Please Me and Ask Me Why, at peak #2 in the UK and #3 in the USA. On this day in history, 1964, the Beatles also sing their single back in 1964, I Want to Hold Your Hand, reaches #80 in the US Cashbox magazine. On this day in history, in 1976, Stephen Sondheim's his musical Pacific Overtures opens at the Winter Garden Theater in New York City. It runs for 193 performances, and it wins 2 Tonys and 2 Desk Drama Awards. And in 1992, American singer and songwriter Paul Simon brings his Born at the Right Time, that's his tour, to South Africa at Ellis Park Stadium in Johannesburg. Back in 1995, the 5th TV network, WB, that's Warner Brothers, begins broadcasting on WPIX TV in New York City. And let's see, on this day in history, in 1998, the 24th People Choice Awards, go to Harrison Ford and Julia Roberts for the dramatic motion picture, and Tim Allen and Oprah Winfrey for TV. In 1999, the 26th American Music Awards go to Celine Dion and Eric Clapton. Comedian Jon Stewart succeeds Craig Kilborn as host of the late night talk show and news program, The Daily Show, on Comedy Central. Actor Rod Taylor was born on this day in 1930. He was born in Sydney, New South Wales in Australia. He passed away January 7th, 2015 at the age of 84 years old. In 1946, singer Naomi Judd was born in Ashland, Kentucky. She passed away 2022. In 1952, fusion jazz guitarist Lee Ritenour was born in Los Angeles, California. He's 72 years old today. Happy birthday. Because I used to play his records a lot. In 1962, actress Kim Coles from Living Single. She was born in Brooklyn, New York. I'm very partial to that because that's where I was born. 1962, she's 62 years old today. And singer Mary J. Blige is celebrating a birthday. She was born on this day in 1971, also born in New York City, Bronx to be exact. She's 53 years old today. Actress Amanda Peake was born on this day in 1972. She was born January 11, 1972, also in New York City. All of my local people here. And she's 52 years old today. Let's see. Where are we now? Oh, there we go. Okay. 1911, actress Hattie McDaniel. She was the one that played in Gone with the Wind. She weds pianist Howard Hickman in Denver, Colorado. In 1941, comedian Stan Laurel, the better half of Laurel and Hardy, Stan Laurel. Okay, well, Stan Laurel was, I lost my place again. Oh, there we are, 1941. Stan Laurel and actress Virginia Ruth Rogers remarried for the second time. In 2003, actor Taye Diggs and actress Idina Menzel. They were married in Montego Bay, Jamaica. In 1979, actor Jack Sue of Bonnie Miller, the Asian guy on Bonnie Miller, he dies of cancer at the age of 61 years old. In 1997, actor, producer, director Shelton Leonard. He was producer of shows like the Danny Thomas Show and Mary Tyler Moore, so forth and so on. Well, he died at the age of 89 years old. And finally, actress Anita Ekberg passed away on this day in 2015 at the age of 83 years old, complications of a long illness. And she was born September 29th in 1931, and she was born in Sweden. And that's this day in history. And if you know anything that's happening on this day in history that I didn't know about, that probably you know about, feel free. It's open forum here. I talk to everyone. I'm a very easy guy to get along with. No problem. I'm not going to bite you unless I know you. Anyway, if you have any information on that, please let us know. Now, I want to get to something else too. Now, if you're want to get in touch with me personally, I have an email address and a telephone number, and I would like to have that because I want you. I get bells in my ears. Yeah, I would like you to get in touch with me. So if you would like to do that, all you have to do is be proactive. I'll give you my email address first. How about that? Let's do that first. Email address is Frank Allan Prod. Frank Allan, spell Allan, A-L-L-A-N. Please, A-L-L-A-N, or you'll never get through. Frank Allan Prod at AOL. Frank Allan Prod, P-R-O-D. Frank Allan Prod, P-R-O-D. That's short for productions. Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Or you can call me at 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. And if you'd like to get in touch with me for whatever reason, it could be just to say hello. That's okay. You're not wasting my time if you do that. Love to hear from you. Or maybe you want to talk about this show, how we got this show, why we're here. I don't know. I'm just having fun. That's all. Anyway, you may have thoughts about the show. Maybe you want to critique the show. I don't mind. I'm very thick-skinned. You won't hurt my feelings. As a matter of fact, you can only help me by letting me know how you feel, and then we could take it from there. Or if you have any ideas about the show, you may say, hey, I like for you to get this person on the show, interview this person, or do this interview. I want to come on your show. I got a rock band that's rocking, and I want to be on your show to promote the band. You don't ask, you don't get. All you have to do is be proactive. Let me give you that email address once again. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Telephone number, again, once again, is 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. If you're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. I want to say hello to Kevin Briscoe, who's better known as Senor Cigar. And he likes to blow the smoke in the air, and I could smell that smoke right now. He drinks his Mountain Dew and a nice stogie. I remember the old days when I was young. I used to smoke, 3 packs of cigarettes a day? 3 packs of cigarettes a day. And then when I felt like it, I would smoke a pipe. And then I used to smoke stogies. And we had back then those little, I don't know if you remember them, but old enough to remember Tijuana Smalls. They were the tiny cigars. And they had the plastic tips. So we used to buy those for 50 cents, I think. I don't know. They were like 5 in a pack, or whatever it is. So I had the best of both worlds. I had cigarettes, I had cigars, I had pipes, little tiny Tijuana Smalls too. I never had a Cuban cigar though, never had one. Of course, they're illegal in this country, so you can't get them here. But I don't know, Senior Cigar, can you get me a few Cubans? Okay. Hey, thank you so much for being along with us. Oh, he wants to say, Kevin, Senior Cigar is celebrating his birthday. He just had a birthday just yesterday. And he doesn't mind me saying it, but he's 67 years old. And so happy birthday, Kevin. Happy birthday, many, many more. And you just keep smoking them. You keep smoking them and I'll keep breathing them. You know, there were a time when I used to smoke so many cigarettes, and when I finally stopped smoking, I said, okay, you know, I'm not going to smoke anymore. But it doesn't hurt if I sit at the bar with someone that smokes. That's just like smoking cigarettes anyway, a secondhand smoke. All right. No, he can't get me those Cuban cigars. Absolutely not. He's not going to even try it. He's not going to even try it. Don't even smoke them. He says, don't even smoke them. You'll be on cloud nine if you even try it. So anyway, happy birthday, Senior Cigar, and many, many more. You just got a birthday wish from Barbara. Barbara wished you a happy birthday. She's out of Las Vegas. By the way, Barbara, Kevin is a Las Vegas guy too. I don't know. Kevin, do you still go out there for those conventions, those cigar conventions out in Las Vegas? I know you used to go out there a lot. You know, sometimes you and I would be in Vegas at the same time, but you'll be in one part of town and I'll be in another part of town. You see, whenever I go to Las Vegas, I always like to stay in the middle of Las Vegas Boulevard, because that's where all the action was, right in the middle. And you know where the middle was? It was like right off of, right where, you know, where the Flamingo Hotel is, right in that area. Only I didn't stay at the Flamingo. I used to always stay at the Harris Hotel. And the reason why I stay at the Harris Hotel, because there was a little place downstairs called, me and the locals call it CC. And the CC stands for Carnival Court. So if anyone knows Carnival Court, say hello to Tim and say hello to all of the guys at the bar. I'm pretty sure they're brand new guys. I know Tim still is there because he's like the top guy. And they do their Carnival Court, they're flair bartenders. Those flair bartenders, you ever see flair bartenders work? It's a good, I see them like 100 times. I never get tired of seeing them. And like they just throw bottles up in the air and never drop them. They never drop them. They could do it. They just throw bottles up in the air. They'll put toothpicks in their mouth, throw a cherry up there, and then the cherry will land right on the toothpick. You can't, Barbara, help me out with this. You know I'm right. You know I'm right. No one is going to believe me when I tell them that. These guys are great. These guys are great. And I'm gonna no, Tim works nights now. Oh, that's not good. That may be good for him, but I like him doing the daytime. You know, because he knows how to entertain a crowd. But then again, you know, nighttime, they have more of a crowd at night than they do in the daytime. But we love them during the daytime, you know. So hey, but Barbara, when you see Tim, whenever you see him, just tell him I said hi. He could hit me up on Facebook, but I have him as a friend on Facebook too. So, you know, but just tell him I say hi, say hello to him, say hello to Jamie, one of my good friends over there too. Who else is there? I can't remember them all, but you know, you're out there. And what are you saying, Barbara? He is making bank at night. He's making bank all night. What is that? ARE? Jamie isn't there anymore. It's too bad. I believe Jamie just recently got married, I believe, right? I believe he just got married. Did he? I think he did. He just got married. Let's see. Yes, I'll see tomorrow. You'll see him tomorrow. Okay, you'll see him tomorrow. Okay, that'll be great. That'll be great. He's not married. Well, he looks like he's married. I'll put it that way. He looks like he's married. I don't know. I haven't spoken to Jamie in a long time. Jamie used to come out here while I was on the air a couple of times. I don't get a chance to see him anymore. But you guys are in different time zones now from New York. We're here in the evening, and it's going on 6 o'clock where you are right now. 6 o'clock in the evening. Now, 6 o'clock in the evening, let me ask you a question, Barbara. 6 o'clock in the evening right now, you're not going to go to bed. You're going to go to Carnival Court. Is that right? After this show, you're going to Carnival Court? I'm not going to give her. I'm not going to give that away. That's her. That's her. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being with us once again. And those of you who care to get involved in this conversation, this is not a private conversation now because everybody's here. Barbara's here. Kevin is here. Debbie is out there. Brian is out there. So we're all here together. And I just want to thank you so much for being along with us. We're going to also be here tomorrow morning for the coffee hour, but we'll tell you more about that after the show before we close out for tonight. But we're on twice a week. And I hope, by the way, you guys had a wonderful New Year holiday. Sometimes the holiday tends to sneak up on you and then and you're not ready for it, and you're just thinking, oh, wow, something, I didn't buy any gifts or anything, what am I going to do? Sometimes, and this year it snuck up on me. Usually I'll stay on top of it when Thanksgiving come around, because I know after Thanksgiving, I know Christmas is coming around, New Year's is coming around. But then after that, after you eat a nice dinner, then you forget about it. And then all of a sudden you have to remember when it's creeping up on you. Christmas, New Year's, it's all here, but it's all of it. It's come and gone now. So anyway, let's see. So Barbara says, I go see the whip. Okay, that's something that I'm obviously not aware of because I haven't been there in 9 years. It's during the day, and that's a retreat. Oh, the whip. That's a group. I saw something. Isn't that a group? The whip. That's the rock group, right? With the girl that comes around and she whips guys on the. Well, I got whipped one time by her. She whipped me one time. When I was at Carnival Court, she had a whip. Is that the right one, Barbara? Yeah, that's the right one. I remember that the girl, she had her whip. She had a whip, and she told me to turn around. I had to turn around and bend over, and she hit me with the whip. It's a lot of fun in Vegas. It doesn't hurt you. It doesn't hurt you if you get a chance to go out there. Who knows? You might see me at the Carnival Court. You go out there. Anyway, I'm going to let everybody know in Vegas when I'm ready to come out there. I'll keep you informed about that anyway. Whole lot of fun. So anyway, thank you guys for being along with us. And we're going to be here for the next few minutes. Give your friends a chance to come in. We have just a couple of minutes left, but tag them right now. Give them a little bit of, hey, we're having fun out here. So tag your friend, give them like a few minutes of the show. Maybe they'll come back next week. But you can be in touch with us. All you have to do is just tag on to my YouTube. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure that you take a chance and subscribe. That's very important to me. Subscribe to us, because whenever you subscribe to us, that means whenever we come on live or we post a video or something, and if you're out there online and you forget about the show, you get an instant reminder right there. And that's the purpose of it all. And that's about it. That's about it. And by the way, for you guys who are watching us on Instagram, you don't have to do anything. Just keep the word going. Tell your family and friends, relatives, everybody else about the show and bring them along. Now, if you didn't do it this week, make sure they do it next week. And if you can, come out tomorrow on the coffee hour and we'll see more about that. She said something about the Blue Martini. Now, Barbara took me to the Blue Martini one time. Now, I don't usually, whenever I go to Vegas, I usually try to stay in the middle, right in front of everything. I very rarely go downtown Vegas, and I very rarely go south of Vegas. Now, the Blue Martini is basically off the strip. It's on Las Vegas Boulevard, but it's off the main strip, where all the casinos and everything. It's really, really off where the action is. Because once you pass that Las Vegas sign where it says, "Welcome to Las Vegas," once you drive by there, you pass that sign, you're basically off where the action is. But there's still a few more things ahead. So We went to the the Blue Martini. Nice place, and I still have that picture. A lot of fun. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as usual, you know what I always do? I always give you information about the movies. Now, a lot of you do the weekends, and for whatever you want to do on the weekends, you do it your way, because that's what it's all about, doing it your way. But sometimes you may want to catch up on some old movies, and of course, that's good too. And I have a few movies that I want you to catch up with, because I think you'll like them. Now, they're my picks of the week, always my picks of the week, and I like to convey them all to you. So let's get started right now and see what we got for the movies for this week. So, Professor, if you will. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's start. Let's go back to 1952. 1952, before you were born, remember? Okay, Singing in the Rain, Gene Kelly. Now, even if you weren't born at the time, you still know the movie. It's a classic movie. Gene Kelly was Singing in the Rain along with Debbie Reynolds and Donald O'Connor. And that's on Turner Classic Movies. You can check it out Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern time. So I say Eastern. Eastern is all where I am. Everything I'm giving you is Eastern. So therefore, Eastern would be, your time would be Central or Pacific or whatever it is. I'm Eastern, so you just act accordingly. We also have another classic from 1941, On the Town, starring Gene Kelly, another Gene Kelly movie, along with Frank Sinatra and Ann Miller. And that's on Turner Classic Movies. That's Saturday at 6 a.m. Eastern. Now, if you're not up at that early, you could always DVR all of these movies and watch them later on, you know, at your very own convenience. See, technology is very good to us. We don't have to miss anything. And then we have Cabin in the Sky. Here's another real classic movies, 1943. This is an all-black cast, starring Ethel Waters, Eddie Anderson, who played Rochester with Jack Benny, Rochester, with the raspy voice. Also, Lena Horne is in it. And that's on Turner Classic Movies. That's Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern. And then here's something that I like. I love boxing. If you love boxing, you're going to love Raging Bull, starring Robert De Niro, back in 1980. And that's on Turner Classic Movies. You can check that out Sunday at 2:15 a.m. And then again at 8:15 a.m. Still too early? Sunday, that's early. You want to sleep late Sunday, right? DVR them. They're right there for you. And here's another one if you like boxing too. Now, this is another classic, 1959. This is called The Setup. I love this movie. Robert Ryan, and that's on Turner Classic Movie. That's Sunday at 4:30 a.m. Eastern. Everything is in the morning Eastern right here. DVR them. And finally, you like musicals? Well, here's one of my all-time favorite musicals called Gypsy, back in 1962 with Rosalind Russell, Natalie Wood, and Carl Malden. That's on Turner Classic Movies. You can catch that Saturday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Okay, so there you got a lot of movies. Now, all you have to do, if you want to go on Turner Classic Movies, go through the program guide and scroll through there. You may find movies that I didn't mention, not that I don't like them, only because these are my picks of the week, but you may like to see some of these other movies, so check them out. Also, if you go on demand, you'll find a lot of movies from A to Z movies, free movies, pay-per-view movies. You have sporting events. You have a lot of children programs, documentaries. It's all right there. All you have to do is just switch, just go right to the channels and check it out on demand, you know. And a lot of you don't have cable, so you depend on some of your other streaming places like Prime and other places like that. But you can get a lot of these great movies, and a lot of them are free. Okay, let me repeat those movies once again. We have Singing in the Rain, 1952, Gene Kelly, Debbie Reynolds, Donald O'Connor. On the Town with Gene Kelly, Frank Sinatra, and Miller. By the way, Singing in the Rain is 10 p.m. Eastern on Friday. On the Town is Saturday at 6 a.m. Eastern. Cabin in the Sky, Ethel Waters, Eddie Anderson, and Lena Horne. Turner Classic Movie Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Raging Bull with Robert De Niro. Turner Classic Movies Sunday at 2:15 a.m. and 8:15 a.m. Eastern. The Setup from 1949 with Robert Ryan, Turner Classic Movies, Sunday, 4:30 a.m. Eastern, and Gypsy with Rosalind Russell, Natalie Wood, and Carl Malden, and that's on Turner Classic Movies Sunday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. I hope you get a chance to watch all of these movies. If not, at least some of them. I think you'll like them. That's going to wrap it up for me, ladies and gentlemen. I want to say hello to, once again, to all of you guys, Barbara, Debbie, Brian, let's see, those of you who, I hope I didn't miss a lot of people. But catch me back here tomorrow morning. Catch me back here tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern for the coffee hour. Brian Camp, hopefully, no, he's not going to be here, so we're going to cover the sports for him when he comes in. But I hope that you'll be here. Other than that, check me back here next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern for more of the Talk Back Live. It's you and me. Brian will be here too as well. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a great morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. We'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
You've been watching Talk Back Live with your host Frank Allen. The producer is Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Talk Back Live.